Yes, so let's continue with the chapter. So the other day, as I just told you, we had started with the chapter Discovering Truth. The saga continues. And this chapter, as I told you, it's a mixture of history, right? It's a mixture of beliefs, faith. It's not a story, it's an essay. And this is significant. We are discussing about the mummies. We're discussing about pyramids. We're talking about ancient beliefs and customs, right? So when we talk about ancient, Egyptian civilization, one very important thing that we learn about or that we know about that civilization is what? It is their belief in afterlife. That there is life after death. And here to make sure, the pharaohs of that time, the kings, the rulers of that time, they were given a status they were worshipped and they were considered as maybe next to God. This was how much of respect these people had for them. And these rulers also, they felt that, see, if I'm a king in this birth and in the next birth, if I am a king and I'm a ruler again, so I'll be needing all these things in the next life also. So it was maybe because of that belief, because of that superstition, what happened was that so many things were buried along with the pharaoh at the time of their burial. So what are the pyramids? They are the burial places of the pharaohs. Right? So in Egypt, what is there? One very striking feature, of course, of that place is that we see the burial places, the valley of the kings and the valley of the queens. So where the pharaohs and where the queens, they were given a burial. Okay? So along with the pyramids, along with the body, what else was there? There was gold, right? There were jewels. And, so many things which they required and maybe things of ordinary daily use. They were all buried along with the body, right? And as I told you, what else is there that we know? And let us just quickly recollect it. That how was the body buried? Was there a special method of preservation? What do we call that process? Or what do we call the body? Mummy, you've heard about it? Yes, have you heard about it? Yeah. And of course, how was it made into a mummy, that body? It was embalmed with oils and herbs and raisins. All these things were applied on it. And of course, before that, what the softer parts, the organs and tissues, they were removed. Okay. And this body, it could remain preserved, and they felt that, okay, so it would be there, everything there, and that transition to the next life. And it is remarkable that even after so many years, we do find that, yes, the bodies that have been preserved with all the herbs and everything, so nothing happened to them. Must be something very special. So just see, so many thousands of years ago, they had this technique. That was so remarkable. Okay. Now, as humans, as I told you, we are very, very curious. We want to know more and more. So when, yes, people, they started, the colonization began of Africa. Where is Egypt? I just told you right now, that's right, isn't it right? Okay, so when people, they started reaching that places, they heard about, oh my God, there's a place there, the pyramids are there, and there's so much of gold and jewelry and all. Many people were tempted to steal that. Many people went there to study that. Why this practice, right? So there's a difference. So people who go to study and the people who go to steal the gold. So we call them gold diggers, those who just go for the gold. And we have the historians there or the scientists there who went to study, right? Now, why didn't the local people go? Why did only the outsiders go? Why the local people didn't go? They knew, oh God, our kings were very rich and all the diamonds and golds and everything is buried over there. So we can go. And why did they go? Because of the respect. Yes, because they had huge respect and the position that those people had in their society. And also, like, call it superstition belief, or call it, you can say what has been told to them right from their childhood or the time spent, that anybody who disturbed the Pharaoh, a curse would fall on that person. What's a curse? It's sharp. Something bad is going to happen to that person. So would anybody want something bad to happen? No. And the local people were also employed as guards, to guard those pyramids, that no one should come and damage them. And that was so many years ago. The Egyptian civilization was once very powerful, once very dominant. And with the passage of time, it came to an end, right? So yes, and of what is now coming to the present time. People have become curious. They found about the pyramids. They've gone there. And here we're coming now to 2005 and 6 when this essay was written. What is being done now? The mummy is being taken out of its coffin. What's the coffin? Yeah, where the dead body is kept, right? And the mummy is being taken out of its coffin, and it is going to be put through a CT scanner, right? To find out what could have been the cause of the death of this young pharaoh. So, right, we're talking about King Tutankhamun. He was one of the, you can say, the rulers of one of the most powerful dynasties, right? So he was there, one of the most powerful rulers of one of the most, you can say, richest and dominating dynasties. He came to the throne at a young age. He died at a young age. So there was a lot of curiosity, okay? And among hundreds of mummies that have been buried, he was the first to be put through the CT scanner. So what we are reading about is the situation at that day when the mummy was going to be put through the CT scanner. And all of a sudden it seemed as when the mummy was taken out, the weather also became very bad. The wind started blowing, the dust started blowing, and the people, they started feeling scared. What did they start thinking? And what has come true? The curse, right? So once again, right in front of them, they are going to do a very important scientific, you can say, observation. But what are they worried about also? The superstitions that have been for a long year. Is this clear now? Yes. Is the setting of the chapter clear? Yes or no? You say yes like this or like this? Decide. Yes is this? Yeah, then say this. Yes, ma'am. Yes or no? Yes. Yes, okay, that's good. Now let's start with the reading of the chapter. Yes, at home, is it clear to everyone? Can I get a yes or no? Is it clear? Yes. So an angry wind stirred up ghostly dust devils as King Tut was taken from his resting place in the ancient Egyptian cemetery. Cemetery is what? The graveyard, right? Known as the Valley of the King. Right. An angry wind stirred up as it was taken from his resting place, known as the Valley of the Kings. Right. So where is it? Let me just have a look at the page. Dark-bellied clouds had scudded across the desert sky all day and now were veiling the stars in casket gray. So that color, what is casket? Casket gray. So right, the color of the corpse, the color of the dead body. What happens after death? How the body changes its color. It's not healthy, right? It's not that lively, right? It is what? That deathly color, grayish color, right? Okay, so everything, the clouds gray, and there, of course, the mummy coming out, the taking it out of its coffin, all that coming and creating a very scary atmosphere. It was 6 p.m. on 5th June 2005. The world's most famous mummy glided headfirst into a CT scanner. Why was it the world's most famous mummy? Why was it famous? Because it was the first mummy to be CT scanned. Very good, Kunal, right? And into a CT scanner brought here to probe the lingering medical mysteries of this little understood young ruler who died more than 3,300 years ago. So many years ago. This is the wonder of science. This is curiosity. You want to learn why did this happen? All afternoon, the usual line of tourists from around the world had descended into the cramped rock-cut tomb, some 26 feet underground, to pay their respect. Right. Descended into the cramped rock-cut tomb, some 26 feet underground, to pay their respect. They gazed at the murals on the walls of the burial chamber and peered at Tut's gilded face. Gilded, made of gold. Where was that face? On the top of the coffin. Remember I showed you the video that day? Where the mask of King Tut, which is very, you can say, symbolic of him. Everything made of gold. Just imagine how lavish and how, you can say, amazing it must be, right? Yes, Krish, right? Okay, put your mask properly. Some visitors read from guidebooks in a whisper. Visitors are also there. They're curious also, they're scared also. Why are they talking in whispers? Because they're afraid also, right? That fear there. We're talking about the curse, right? Others right. So all afternoon, the usual line of tourists, we have read this. Some visitors read from guidebooks in a whisper. Others stood silently, perhaps pondering Tut's untimely death in his late teens, or wondering with a shiver if the pharaoh's curse, death or misfortune falling upon those who disturbed him, was really true. Please underline, this is very important. What's the curse? What is the curse? Something bad happening. What are the people's fears? What bad is going to happen to them? Something? Yes? That something might happen to them, and because they have come to, see the body, right? Okay, so that fear was there. The mummy is in very bad condition because of what Carter did in the 1920s. Please remember this word also, and remember this name when we do this chapter. Carter, Howard Carter. He was the first British archaeologist to discover the body of King Tut, or rather to go into the pyramid. Okay, right? Now, what did Howard Carter do? This is what we are going to read about. Said Zahi Hawass, Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, as he leaned over the body for a long first look. Carter, Howard Carter, that is, was the British archaeologist who in 1922 discovered Tut's tomb after years of futile searching. So it searched all over, maybe he must have gone through so many pyramids also, and then finally he found this tomb, right, of King Tut in 1922. Its content, though hastily ransacked in antiquity, was surprisingly complete. Contents. What were the contents of that tomb? What was there in the pyramid? As I've told you, lots of riches, so many important things. Nothing was taken away, it seemed, but yeah, the people had gone through it. Right? Now, when Howard Carter reached on the scene as an archaeologist, he knew the significance of that. So he has tried his own efforts to save the mummy. Okay? What did he do? Its content, thou hastily ransacked in antiquity, was surprisingly complete. They remain the richest royal collection ever found and have become part of the pharaoh's legend stories. What we've read, we know about the pharaoh's curse, we know about the pharaoh's life, right? We also know about how his funerary treasure, it is one of the richest. Okay? Yes. Stunning artifacts in gold. The eternal brilliance meant to guarantee resurrection. What is resurrection? To come alive again. So what was one very important belief among the Egyptians? Life after death. And they thought that everything here along with them will help them in their afterlife. Okay? Resurrection. Caused a sensation at the time of the discovery and still get the most attention. But Tut was also buried with everyday things he'd want in the afterlife. Why was it done? Because the king or the pharaoh would be needing everything. Okay? Right. After months of carefully recording the pharaoh's funerary treasures, Carter began investigating his 3 nested coffins. Opening the first, he found a shroud adorned with garlands of willow and olive leaves, wild celery, lotus petals, and cornflowers, the faded evidence of a burial in March or April. So what did Howard Carter do? First of all, he made a list. He made a record of all the things that were there. Then he came to the coffin. Who was there in the coffin? Who was there in the coffin? Yes, the king, right? So when he opened the top of the coffin, what was there? His iconic face, the mask, which was made of gold. When he opened the coffin, there was the shroud, right? What is a shroud? The cloth which is used to cover the dead body, right? So on top of the shroud, what was there? There were these flowers. There were these plants. Take a look. Which plants and what was there? Yes? What was there? You also, please, students, look at the books. Tell me what was, yes, all these plants. What did it suggest? That the burial took place in March or April. Why? Because these plants, these flowers are available during those months, right? So when we talk about reconstruction, how do we reconstruct things? From the evidences that are available, from the things that are available there, right? Okay, from the signs and from the evidences that you can get. When he finally reached the mummy, though, he ran into trouble. So there were 3 lids, 3 layers of the coffin. So when he finally reached the mummy, he could not take it out. Why couldn't he take it out? There was so much of a problem there. He ran into trouble. The ritual raisins had hardened. What are raisins? Yes? Raisin is, like you get those gums, that sticky thing which comes from the tree also, right? So those raisins, they had been applied on the body. And how many years later was it taken out? So many years later. And what had happened to those raisins? They had hardened. And as a result, what had happened to the mummy? It had got stuck. So will it come out easily? No, it won't come out easily. You would have to apply force to it. Okay? Is this clear to everyone? Yes. But of course, when he finally reached the mummy, he ran into trouble. The ritual raisins had hardened, cementing Tut to the bottom of his gold coffin. No amount of legitimate force could move them. Carter wrote later what was to be done. He wanted to take out the mummy. Why? Because he did not want people coming in and destroying it. People were not aware of what is the significance of the tomb, what is the significance of the contents. So he wanted to remove it. Why was he unable to remove it? Because it was stuck, right? Because the raisins had hardened over the hundreds and thousands of years that it had been. So it was difficult to take out the mummy. Okay, is it clear to everyone? Yes, is this part clear to you all? Any doubts, any questions, please let me know.